I want to take more than 5 minutes on this, but so good. You see, they were into that.
Thank you that you did that. I apologize that it was getting squeezed and I was ready to cut it, and I'm glad we didn't. So thank you for doing that.
It's so important right now. I see this happen a lot, that people are engaging with visuals. Like there's just so much for them to grasp. And if you tell someone you're trying to explain what a microwave is, you know, and then you're like, oh, it has microwaves and it's a but if you give them a box that you put the food in and then you turn it on and it heats it up, they're like, whoa, I want one of those, like basically. So
I've never had that experience, but if you say so, I've never had the experience of introducing anyone to a microwave before.
okay, well, I can talk rocket. I don't know. Rocket shoots off, fires up. You have to see it.
I hear what you're saying.
See it to believe it. Okay, so aside from that, yeah, I'm actually I'm interested in kind of seeing the development of this. You had a great group of people there, especially Kat and Verge, that they have a lot of experience, like having things succeed. You know, like they're basically like amazing complementary, people. Like one has like corporate, so she knows what makes money, and the other person has like transformational work, like to like a very high degree, has set up like non for profits and things like that. So I think that's really important to keep around. I'm not that important, I'm just trying to put this thing together in a concept. I'm trying to make your brain understandable, because
That's an important part, Rico. You don't know how important that is to make
yeah.
my
So
brain understandable. That's so important. That's our critical thing right now.
um,
Look at how many years we've suffered for people not understanding my brain. We got to get we need you. We need the translation happening for sure.
so I think if as long as I'm like accurate in what you're trying to do, and then I'm producing accurate, reciprocal, you know, um, or actual accurate reflection of what you're trying to say, then we're good. I'll do my best with that.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate the space that you're holding with all of that. And, I understand what you're saying, that people have credentials and experience and they're important, but I do think that you're being, the evidence of what you did to prepare this shows to other people that you are very important in this group. So
You're a big deal, Rico.
yeah,
You're a big deal.
we all get to own however we're going to show up, and you're showing up as big as you want. You're showing up in a big way. So thank you. Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you wanted to say something?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'll probably just go off. I wanted to stick around to hear what you had to say. I would have said some more things. I could go on forever, but I do. I guess I should say that I just appreciated everybody sharing their things. There was a couple things there. I think Emilio already dropped off, but I wanted to talk about the spirulina device. That's something I've already put a lot of design stuff into. I have a lot of like resources to like point him towards, and so
Great.
I was thinking, here's what I did want to say. Like at the end of a meeting, it would be good if we could make declarations. Like I used to do these gratitude circles where we would declare what we were grateful for and then
Right.
what our intentions were. And the intentions were like the most important part, but you kind of fuel it with this gratitude energy that you kind of start it with.
You
And
do that in the beginning or the end with the intention?
well, each person you would go around the circle and each person would say what they're grateful for, and then you go around the circle around and say each person was saying what their intentions are.
Would you do
And
the circle in the beginning or the end of the meeting?
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying we should do it like that. I'm saying that is like another kind of inspiration to something that we could develop as a culture of like when you end a meeting, everyone should say what their actions are.
I would like to have a more powerful ending than we had tonight for sure. So it'd be great to have some sort of way that we close with a lot of power and people leave the meeting feeling like on fire.
They need to have something that they know what they're going to go do. When you break up from the huddle, it's got to be like
Right.
everybody knows at least one thing that they are going to do before the next meeting, and they've declared it. And so that
Right.
when they come back to that next meeting, they can say, well, I did it. And not only I did it, but I did these other things too. I'm like 3 more steps ahead, or this is why I didn't do it. And like, I needed some more support, and we kind of maybe could like help people figure out to be more accountable.
It's really great what you're saying. And I think, because I've been thinking about this, you know, what you just described and describing it all, we just don't have time in the meeting to share all this stuff. But what you could do right now, if you want, is you could encapsulate the idea of this. Like, I think this is what we should do. And you make a, 2-minute video, 3-minute video, whatever it is, to describe the whole thing. And that's where we can put it out to everybody and get agreement and then put it in. So that we're going to have a lot of that type of conversation happening between meetings, where I'm going to put out a video and talk about this, and Rico's going to put out a video and talk about this, because that's going to be a normalized part of our communication, because we just can't do everything in real time. The meetings would take forever. So does that work for you to encapsulate this concept into a video that you can share with us?
Yeah, I was thinking like if we did have some sort of like Slack or something where you have some.
I think we're gonna get on Slack. I think we're gonna do that.
I could post instead of it could be a text message, it could be a link, it could be a file, it could be a short video or a voice message, and in that way,
Right.
like we could have a whole stream of our internal conversations that it's not limited to this time and place, and if you're not there, you missed it.
Yeah.
Or got to catch up.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna go in that direction for sure. Yeah,
that sounds like a good way to do it.
I like what you did here on the chat. I think that could be a good way to do it, where it's brief. So you asked, "Hey, let's declare our own," and then the cat did. I just think that it wasn't announced, so
yeah. And the challenge with that, to be honest with you, is that when this stuff starts happening, who's ever doing their introduction is not being listened to by certain people at certain times. So I don't like a lot of stuff happening in the chat when people are sharing their stuff, because it's pretty disrespectful for the people that are talking at that moment, I think. I know some people can focus more than I can on different things, but to me, to type a whole message, you can't really be absorbing too much while you're doing all that, I don't think. So anyways, I'd like to use a different method other than chat, and maybe we need to set those ground rules as well, not to have like a whole side conversation going on in the chat while people are trying to tell us who they are, type of
thing. You could take those two ideas and put them together, right? Like you have this Slack message for the leadership council, so that we can all start like really building momentum more, instead of just kind of having these meetings and going off. And people can declare, you say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to all, declare, we're going to make our declarations. And that sort of, could be another thing that is part of it all.
Right. But to me, what I'd like to see, again, for the declarations or whatever way you'd like to see it go, I'd like for you to put a proposal out to the group and then let the group say if they like it. Like for this project thing, I think we got agreement that people would like to have a 3-month thing that is supported by this structure. So we're going to do that. But let's put your video out, see if there's agreement for it. And if there is agreement for it, then we'll go ahead and implement it. It's just that at this point, I'm so into this concept of, me not being the source of how everything goes, that I'm very reluctant to say, okay, we're going to do that, and then kind of enforce it on people. You know what I mean? I'd rather put it out as a proposal to the group, let people agree on it, and now it happens, not because Jared said it happens, but because the group decided it's going to happen. You get what I'm saying?
I think that's going to happen if you have like this sort of like the stream, you know what I mean? Because people will, like Kat, she just did it. I was like, hey, let's do this. And she did it. And so people will offer up ideas, and other people will follow them. And, you just, with the meetings alone, the way that they are, you don't have that bubbling up happening.
I get what you're saying. So it just, with Slack, it'll just happen. You've worked on Slack. Have you set up Slack before? Because we've had some of it done, you know, by some students, but now since we don't have any students at the moment, if you can support with the Slack, we actually have a Slack set up already. So I guess it's just a matter of inviting people, right?
Dude, you're so old. I can't believe it. You know, the kids these days, they'll just download it and get themselves on. I think
that's
right?
what the students did. I just haven't, you know, I've been late.
Yeah, you're like.
Okay, but it's all set up for us. I guess I just need to send you an invitation, then we can get everybody else on board, right?
Yeah, I think it's just
Oh,
your
and I'm
you
gonna
invite
do-
me to your channel, like whatever the Slack channel is. Then I already have. I can send you my name or whatever, but we'll work all that out.
What I realized, I didn't say it tonight, but now we're talking about it. Everyone on the leadership council will get a Uniting for Action email address, and then that way that makes it easy because then it's your Uniting for Action email address that you log into Slack with, and then you have all your communications around all this is going to that one email address. So, and when you want to email somebody about official business, you've got an email address to use, basically.
You
Right.
can set up little groups so that a couple people want to work on this thing, they can get in that group, and
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
a lot of things will happen. Like, you know, you don't have to recreate the wheel.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing all that. I pretty much want to wrap up unless there's anything that you guys want to cover. Anything else that you guys want to talk about?
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Even if Rico wants to talk?
If Rico's got something else to say, you better say it.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
think
Did you guys know each other? Have you connected before?
Yeah, I know Rico.
saw that before.
It's been a minute. Spirit Hill, maybe, I think.
We made naked on the sauna before.
Nice.
Yeah, that's.
So you guys really know
And
each other.
Larry's.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. Yeah, Larry's.
At Larry?
Yeah,
At Larry Lesplatters?
Yeah,
That's better, yeah.
he has a
That's
sauna. He has a steam room.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't been in it.
It's amazing.
So
I
anything-
turned my bathroom into a steam sauna just because his is better, way better, and he's got
You
ozone.
did?
But it took an electric kettle, and I put it in my bathroom, and I just seal it up real good and let the kettle
Nice.
go.
Well, I think the introduction should have been done early. I think that I don't get why we're done at the end, but because it kind of gave me more of an idea where everyone's at and like who to direct and how to speak to them. You know, I think I was. You know, I don't. I think there's like an understanding there, a better understanding there. I am wondering what is next, so I have no idea what are we supposed to be doing or.
Yeah, it's a good point. I have to create the survey and really get everybody onboarded with their own, you know, profile pages and all that. I need to make the functionality of the profile pages happening as quickly as possible so you can manage your own profile page to add your project and add your videos and add your pictures and add your documents and add whatever you want about whatever it is that you want to put out there into the world. So that's a big part of it, is just getting everybody prepared to onboard and start onboarding into the system so that as the functionality of the system's coming online, that you guys are, you know, ready to go and start using it.
Yeah, so I would say get on Slack. That'd be an action item, right? Everybody gets on Slack.
Yeah.
And everybody, you know, finishes their profile page and all that stuff, you know, because there's probably still some more things to do for that. For me, I'm gonna try and get my boat going. Once it's going, people will want to come out on it, I'm sure, and they'll be more
Yeah,
interested in the
we're
project.
gonna. How many of the leadership council can get on your boat?
I mean, probably everybody that was in the meeting today, we could technically fit if we were like trying to get across from Cuba or something, you know. I mean,
How about
it's a 22-foot boat, you know, so
doesn't give me reference. I don't know how many comfortably, like what's the number of people you would comfortably take out on?
Comfortably 4, 5.
Okay.
That would be the max. Yeah, I wouldn't want to take more than that. Just You want everybody to at least have a place to sit.
I
Like,
think we're diverging. We're not talking. I'll stop. I mean, it's great, but I'll stop the tape so nobody's watching us talking about your. But I was about to ask. I was about to
I
ask
didn't
Rico,
realize
because
you were
Rico, I
recording.
saw you send a message that you're coming down to South Florida at some point. When is that?
I may change my mind, so I'm gonna keep that
Got it.
on the maybe.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, I guess the Slack makes sense for us to have like topic conversations, you know, like stay on topic. For in my experience, Slack has never lasted, but it has been very useful for sending files, you know, with like a quick way. That's my experience with Slack.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think that the leadership council should have more like a very forum based platform, you know.
No, what do you mean a forum-based platform?
The thing is, like, forums used to be really cool and really
Oh,
effective.
discussion boards.
Yeah, a forum like and at some point they kind of dropped off, but I don't know why.
Oh,
Like,
you mean discussion boards, right? Specifically.
yeah. But basically, there's like a topic, and then every time there's a reply.
GitHub is still doing that. GitHub is like the big thing. That's like for programming. So there's still, if you go to GitHub, they have a platform for that, and we do need to like create our own. And they offer that, I think, like white labeling their platform. And yeah, we definitely
Reddit.
Reddit.
I feel like Reddit is a big place for that kind of a thing. Like,
I've never used Reddit, so I don't know.
Right. Reddit would be like, yeah, like a pretty good example, but obviously we won't want to go to Reddit. Or
Yeah.
actually,
but as an example, I think forums are still alive. I'm just saying. I think that it's evolved a little bit, but like,
yeah,
that's all. You know,
we do need to have a solution for that. So we should have like you two and whoever else like working out like what is the ultimate solution platform for us to use for this function.
yeah, like a in-house forum. So if
that's
it's
what
just,
Slack is going to be. I think that's like that makes sense.
but in terms of our membership on the website, talking about all these issues and channels and that sort of thing, that's what we need. We need those discussion boards and everything.
for what? For which?
So when people find each other on a channel and they want to start talking about like the issues that, you know, that channel deals with, we need to have those discussion boards to manage all that communication.
Yeah, so the leadership council has the channels, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is when we have the whole membership, we have millions of people showing up, and then you've got, you know, 10,000 people are showing up on this channel of Primera culture.
That's what Rico is saying, though, is that you just do it like a forum. Like, people can start threads and post to threads. Like,
right,
you can evolve what the forum idea is, but that as a basis to start with it makes sense.
It's just like an organizational structure that is very easy, that works. You know, that's
yeah. I think it's all the same anyway. You're only going to be able to make it look flashier. Like, I think the only reason people don't like forums is that they didn't have good search engines and they didn't have like flashy graphics. But if you made forum like a little bit, you know, like the people love YouTube and stuff because it gives you an auto feed, right? Like, if you had an auto feed for topics on the forum and you could just like, oh, here's I'm scrolling through my stream, and now you have like likes or the expert opinion, and then that you can go in and you can see, like, open up each of these discussions. It's got different objects and aspects. And
you're right. So where's the platform that we can use to make that functional? So that's the question right now. So I'm down with everything you just said. Like, so where do we sign up?
We can build, I mean,
honestly,
you're talking about building a website, you know, you're talking about building a
again,
data.
if we have to build something from scratch because it doesn't exist, that's fine. But if there's a third party out there that's already got bolts nailed
actually
down,
we could make a Reddit. They let you make your own Reddit. I forgot that they do that.
And is
that
Reddit
could be a good one.
And it's like private. It can be private. What's that?
I
Let me have
like
the
the
handle.
GitHub idea too, because what we're talking about is building software. Like I think we need a GitHub to do like a versioning for the software, but something that is more for just the discussions for people. But ultimately, that's where, you know, if we're going to build software, but otherwise Reddit is a good place to start, because then it's public, unlike Slack. The Slack would be the in-house conversation, and the
Right.
Reddit could be the public.
All right, but Reddit provides the functionality that you guys feel like you're looking for out of the discussion boards.
I think it should be any and all. Like, get on Twitter, get on Facebook, get on, like, why say, you know, why not get on all of it, you know?
Because of managing.
We are getting on those platforms, but with the Reddit, what we're talking about using it as a platform to facilitate the discussions that are happening within our closed ecosystem. Right.
But my point is, like, you know, it doesn't ever have to be like, it shouldn't be hesitant, like, sure, let's use that. Like, there's no reason not to, you know. You literally could copy and paste.
But when there's
material.
10 different options, we have to choose what our best option is. We don't just go with the first one because it's first. We go with the first one because it's best. So we have to, is Reddit the best?
Let's start with Slack so that we have a conversation between us, all right? And then we'll get some options there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we can make a vote. Slack lets you vote on things, you know.
Okay.
It also lets you search things. So, and it lets you put rules. Like, one of the rules I would put would be like, before typing, search what has been said about that. You know, so let's start with that. Yeah, Slack is definitely like optimized for that kind of stuff. So.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll start. I'll get you guys on Slack by tomorrow, and then we'll talk about how to get everybody else on board and where we're going to go with the discussion boards and all that. Sound good?
Sure.
Have a good night, you guys.
Awesome. Yes.
Good night.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate you. Thanks for sticking it out, and thanks for everything that you guys are doing. Really awesome.
I don't endorse Nike. I do not endorse Nike. It just happens to be here.
All right. Cool. Thank you. See you.